And we're back one last time for the 2019-2020 school year season finale. We may be back in the fall, you never know. Our friend the chickadee is still hanging out outside the window, you may hear. There he is, right there. All right, so that's what's happening today. One last problem. There's a lot happening with this one. The math itself is not too difficult, but you do have to pay attention. There's a bunch of steps on there. Pay attention. There may be 2 question marks. You know what that means. All right, let's take a look at today's problem. 105 students were divided equally into 15 teams. How many players were on each team? If each team had 3 girls, how many boys were there altogether? I see 2 question marks. You should know what that means by now. Go ahead and hit the pause button. Solve your problem. When you're finished, hit play, and we will see how you did. Okay, let's see how you did. So, it literally says divided equally in there. So the first thing we're going to have to do is divide. Then there are 2 question marks, which means you're going to have to provide 2 answers. So, if there were 105 students and they were divided equally onto 15 teams, obviously our first thing is going to be to divide 105 by 15. So let's do that first. 105 divided by 15. Okay. Like the last one that we did, I don't have my 15s memorized. So we're going to do a little bit of guessing and checking like we did on the last one. Friendly numbers, 5 times 10 is 150. That's too high. So I need to go lower than that. Friendly numbers, let's try 5 again. 2s, 5s, and 10s are the friendliest groups because they're the ones that most people know right away. So let's do our 5. So 15 times 5. Hopefully that gets us really close to 105. We'll see what happens. 5 ones times 5, 25 ones. So I'm going to put the 5 in the ones place, and I'm going to regroup that 2 into the tens place, because 25 is 2 10s plus 5 ones. 110 times 5 is 50, plus those 2 other 10s is 70, so we've got 75. Okay. 105, 75, that's still pretty far away. I mean, 75 plus 25 is 100, and I'm still not there yet, so I still have a ways to go. So 5's not going to work for us. So let's erase that. Let's try 7. 15 times 7. I went to 7 instead of 6 because when I added 25, which is more than 15, I still was not there. So let's try 7 and see what happens. Okay, 5 ones times 7 is 35. 3 10s, 5 ones. So I'm going to put my 5 ones in the ones place. I'm going to regroup my 3 10s to the tens place. 110 times 7 is 70. Plus those 3 10s that I regrouped. 7 10s plus 3 10s is 10 10s, 100. So there we go, 105, which is exactly what I'm looking for. No regrouping, no remainder or anything. So that is awesome. So I'm going to put the 7 in the ones place. 7 times 15 is 105. 105 minus 105 is 0. No remainder. So there are 7 players on each team. 105 students divided equally into 15 teams. Now, for the second question, if each team had 3 girls, how many boys are there altogether? So, we'll do some drawing. Read, draw, write, with a little bit of calculation thrown in there. So, if each team has 7 students, okay, 7 students on each team, and we know that 3 are girls, okay, how many boys would there be? Well, 7 minus 3 equals 4. 4 plus 3 equals 7. So there must be 4 boys on each team. Okay? 3 girls plus 4 boys equals 7 students. We're not quite finished yet, because it's how many boys were there all together. So, we've already said that there were 15 teams. So, if 15 teams had 4 boys each, we need to do 15 times 4. 15 teams times 4 boys. More standard algorithm. 5 ones times 4 equals 20. I'm going to put the 0 in the ones place. I'm going to regroup those 2 tens into the tens place. 1 times 4, 110 times 4 is 4 tens, plus the 2 tens that I regrouped. 4 plus 2 is 6, so 6 tens. So we have 60. 60 boys altogether. We read the problem. We did a bunch of calculations. We even drew a little bit. Now we're ready to write our answers, plural, because they did ask you 2 questions. Wow. I'm going to scoot over there to write. Okay? So, first part, let's call it A. Okay? There were 7 players on each team. Okay, we solved that one up there. So, okay, complete sentences. There are 7 players on each team. Then the second question that they asked us, we'll call that one B. Okay. How many boys were there altogether? 15 teams, 4 boys on each team, 60 boys. There were 60 boys altogether. We read the problem, did some calculations, we drew, we wrote. Read, write, draw. Flip that. Read, draw, write. I can make a mistake. It's the last one of these. All right. Exhale. Last problem of the day for the year. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for coming back. I hope you had fun with these. I hope you learned something. Can't wait to see you guys again in the fall. Please stop by 246. Say hi. If you're too cool to do that, I will accept a quiet wave as you walk by. But if you are going to stop in, make sure you get permission first. Do not get me in trouble with my coworkers. Have an amazing summer. Stay safe. Read a lot. Practice your math. We will see you again soon.